Welcome, everybody. John Zager, johnzager.com. Yeah? How's everybody doing? Good? Good. So, I did a podcast a little bit earlier, a couple hours ago or whatever, and it was a good podcast. Kind of continuing to talk about, why people do the things they do. And it's real informative. I thought it was. This one's going to be even more informative. See, I don't have any hair up there. Very little. But anyway, the topic of this YouTube video excuse me, is, I haven't written it in yet, but I will at the end. Why people hate you. You're not loved. I'm going to give you the reasons why reality is a struggle for you. Follow me on that? Why your reality is not much fun. I don't have my earbuds in. I'm hoping there'll be enough sound that'll get picked up for this to work. I don't know if it will or not, but we're going to try it. Maybe if I talk closer up to the mic, to the phone. I don't know. We'll have to see. So, let me give you an example. So I've been working in psychology for 55 years. Fact, neuroscience for most of that. Got some iced, well, not iced tea, but tea. And so you find out a lot of stuff. You find out why people, I'm going to take my glasses off for a while, why people do the stupid things they do. Here's a good example. Just case study, somebody I ran into, family of sorts, and this was the clinical outcome as to why they do what they do and how it transpired, right? So you have a mom and a dad, and 4 kids, right? And you have a grandmother and a grandfather and an uncle. Yeah? Pretty typical. And the thing that happens is that mom and dad, if there are any aunts and uncles or grandparents or whatever, they model and teach, the program that the kids walk away with for the rest of their life, and that develops their personality and who they're going to be and how life is. And the grandmother is narcissistic personality disorder, right? Passive-aggressive personality disorder, and generally pretty screwed up, and has taught her kids, which would be the wife or the mom or the daughter, and the uncle, which is their brother and sister, how terrible the world is. And through her modeling, she had a complex about not living up to the standard that she thought she should live up to. And as a result, she found reasons to hang around medical doctors which were more affluent than her husband, right? I don't know if she was married or not, or the husband was married or not. I don't know any of that kind of crap. I don't care. But it was about her. Life in the world centered around her. Holidays centered around her. Gifts that were given were centered around her. She demanded that sort of attention. And she brought her daughter up in that way and had her even spend countless days and whatever, nights, I guess, at her mother's house, which was the daughter's grandmother. Yeah, that's right. And she was taught how to be narcissistic, how to be passive aggressive, and how to generally, I'm going to turn this fan on for a bit so I can get some cool air. It's kind of cold. So I'll get up here a little bit closer to the mic so you can hear it until I cool off. But anyway, it was atrocity that the daughter learned all of this behavior from the grandmother and the mother. And in turn, she takes this disgusting personality program she's left with into her family. Remember, she has 4 kids. I think it's 3 boys and 1 girl, yeah. And starts acting that behavior out in front of them. What do you think happens after some time with their mother? Time's up. What do you think happens? So the kids turn against mom. A little at a time. It's a love-hate relationship. If you have a narcissistic personality disorder mom, it's a love-hate relationship. The mother will discipline you, right? And then give you all kinds of accolades to make you feel good. Discipline you and then give you all kinds of accolades to feel better. So this mom with the 4 kids does exactly that. I mean, she's got the dynamics of mental health disorder written all over the place. The other thing she had noticed with her mother and grandmother was that cardiovascular disease has nothing to do with genetics. You all know that, I hope. And diabetes is the farthest thing from genetic that there can be in the world. If you don't want to be it, just give yourself 8 days and do blah, 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 and you're not a diabetic anymore. It's a pharmaceutical thing. I could explain it to you at another time. So all of a sudden, the mom sees her mom having grievous issues around being diabetic and having a heart disease. Well, she doesn't have a heart disease. She thinks she has a heart disease. And if you get that hysterical, we call that hystonic personality disorder. Okay? So, and then again, the mother of the grandmother there, we have the grandmother who has hystonic personality disorders, 3. And now the daughter has hystonic personality disorders. So she's got, narcissistic hystonics and passive aggressiveness. Are you starting to get the feel for a mental health family? All right. So, neuroscience, we're just going to jump to a clear picture. The only way you can upregulate genes, negative, diseased genes, is through negativity, right? Through your brain, through thoughts, through neurons, neuron clusters, blah, 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 blah. Nothing is genetic. So the grandmother did it that way. The mother did it that way. And the younger mother did the same thing. So these 4 kids are growing in age and stuff, and they're starting to hate their mother. And the mother, of course, does the love-hate thing, which is the dynamics of narcissism and blah, 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 blah. And so now they're growing to not really like that mother. And the mother's just looking for some other trauma to take on so that it can satisfy her narcissism, so that her histrionics can explode, right? And now she's in the middle of trauma and everybody has to love her. You get it? All right. It's kind of the dynamics. It's a lot more particular than that, but we're not teaching anything in particular. We're just trying to give you a general picture of why the world turns, why people don't like you. This is just one example, a case study that I knew and was familiar with. So the kids don't like her. They're not saying anything. They talk back and forth to themselves. They're starting to act out some of the same behavior. They're not liking it, so they have a choice to either love each other or strangle each other. They end up deciding to clump together as a group and support each other and screw the mom. Now, remember, we got a husband in there that's equally responsible for those kids' behavior. He's also developing their program and personality disorders, right? And of course, he's an analytical SOB, so he has no clue what he's even doing. He's as narcissistic as his wife is. Wonder why we pick those kinds of people. And he starts undermining his wife, their mom. Somebody tells him, you know, you're fucking up pretty bad. You're running out of time. You might want to go unscrew up what you just screwed up. And of course, his ego is too big for that to happen. And the kids end up getting hurt, nobody else. So the mom now starts picking up on kids hate me. Husband is kind of doing stupid things, love-hate kinds of stuff. And I can't get enough trauma in my life. So I'm gonna have a cardiovascular issue and get, what is it? What did she have? Quadruple bypass or something like that. She didn't need quadruple bypass at all. You know, but again, it was so satisfying to have quadruple bypass, because now I'm in a wheelchair being pushed by a husband who doesn't love me anymore. And guess what? I can't find the kids anywhere. Why aren't they here, like, consoling me? You guys get the hint? Okay, so let me just kind of speed up and bring this. I'll turn this off. My apologies. I just had to cool off. It's hot. It's supposed to get up to 71 or something like that today. So the mom has a brother, which is the uncle, right? Who used to be a cool guy, and now, because they've ostracized their grandmother, the grandmother was allowed to come over for, I don't know, what, holidays or something, for, I seem to recall it was like for 2 hours or something on like a Christmas day or a holiday of some kind. That's all she got, and then she was out the door. Not by her choice, but by their choice. So she's gone. And now the kids really don't want to spend a lot of more time with their sick mother. And that's getting progressively worse and worse and worse. Eventually, they just kind of turn around and ostracize her. She is hurt so bad emotionally and is unable to talk about it, right? That she allows, it becomes a choice, you guys. I don't know if you understand neuroscience well enough to know. You can either live or die. It's a choice. It's not, there's nothing. It's a choice. So she subconsciously, right, which is the program, which is what you live by 97% of the time. She decides to escalate the cardiovascular event and eventually just dies. All right. Now, in the meantime, the uncle, the brother, was not informed that his mother died until, I don't know, an hour or two after she's dead, because that's the passive-aggressive part from the sister. And again, at the funeral, he was ostracized even more because the other aunt was claiming that he killed her by dumping, I don't know if it was a breakfast or a lunch kind of dinner, in the trash because she was acting all kinds of nasty, dirty, not very nice person thing, right? So he was kicked out of the church of his mom's funeral because he killed her. and so all the kids, model, that's how we get sick. So the sister comes and says, you're going to have to leave, and the aunt can stay because she's mom's sister. Oh boy, talk about sick. So the uncle guy said, okay, I'll see you guys later. Let me know how it turns out. Here's the secret, you guys. This is the secret. This is a big secret. Remember, we had the brother and the sister in the family with the sick mom. Really nice dad, loving, caring, all that kind of thing. And the sister, because of her indoctrination from mom and grandmother, right? Her indoctrination required that she follow strictly the programming that was given to her. Her brother, which is the uncle, hope you're following me on all this, he went to private prep school, private college, blah, 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 blah. Had a choice to go to any school he wanted to do, brand new car. Was out playing baseball, played basketball in school, football, athletic, blah. Just, he was busy learning psychology and wanting to get better and better at gaining more knowledge and just doing everything positively. Was not concerned about mom and all of her trauma, sickness, mental health. I don't know why she's doing that, but I'm sure not part of that program. And walks away from the family. Pretty hard to get sick with a terminal illness if you don't really care about their terminal illness, right? Because it's all a thought disorder. It's a thing that you acquire through thought. You upregulate disease genes through thought. It's the only way you can get it. And if you don't give a rat's ass about it, you can't get sick. You can't have a coronary or cardiovascular event. That's the word I was looking for. You can't have an event like that if you don't give a rat's ass. You can't have a stroke if you don't really care. Because you got other things to do. There's other more fun things to do. You don't have to hang around the family. You can leave the family whenever you want. They're nuts. They're crazy. So anyway, you got this healthy uncle, brother, and he has no intentions of getting sick or any of that. So now it makes sister even more mad, right? Well, how come you don't have all this stuff? What do I want it for? And so she chooses at that point to die. The ultimate narcissistic personality disorder trait is I will die. And they will all stand over my casket and mourn me. The epitome of narcissism. So the kids now and that whole family have ostracized the grandparents, ostracized their mother. Okay. And now they have nobody left. So the uncle and the girl mom, their brother and sister. So she dies, and they don't tell him for a year. All right. I'm almost done, you guys. Just hang on. Give me a couple more minutes. So the kids end up being as sick or sicker than who they ostracized. And the husband is clearly part of that whole thing. But anyway, we're not talking about him in this particular case, but in order to create the greatest amount of trauma, which would produce hatred and anger, right? We won't even tell him that his sister died. Oh my God. So the dynamics lived itself out over 4 generations. All right. Here's the concluding takeaway remark. They all had kids, got married, had kids or whatever. And here's the irony. What they hated so much, they became. Hook, line, and sinker. What they're teaching and modeling their kids is the epitome of what they pushed away. They don't have the answer to this day, I'm told. The only person that has the answer that could direct them, go this way, is the uncle. And they've cut the uncle out. Because if they associate with the uncle, they would have to get well. God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and I look forward to talking to you all again real soon. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.